This feeling I'm getting is too intense here. It feels like something's bearing down on me right now. I've came in here too deep, and I think I've come too close. I'm by myself, and it's foolish. Even I have my limits, and I've reached it here. I know that they're here. I've got to try to make it out of here. We're in the Hitachi Experimental Forest. Why did they have this zone forbidden for people to enter for so long? It's open now, and this is where a lot of the reports are originating from. There's a report less than a mile from here, multiple eyewitnesses reported seeing an upright figure covered in hair, approximately 8.5 feet tall, run across the road and run into this forest. Let's find out what they got in here and what they've been hiding. So I've made it to the experimental forest, where the locals here say they hear and see a lot of strange things, including knocks, yells, strange howls they can't figure out what they are. And there's a handful of sightings as well. This is a very small town, and they stick together as a community. So when they have something strange happen, they don't run to the internet. And they definitely don't call strangers and tell them about what happened. They talk it amongst themselves as a community. They'll tell you what they saw, and that's the end of it. That's how we ended up here. While I'm investigating this experimental forest, along the way, I'm going to be telling you how to look for tracks, what to do if you find them, what to listen for, and what to do if you come across one in the wild. Okay, I've come to a little creek bed here, and I'm going to show you what to do if you ever come across a print that you think might be a Sasquatch. Just little easy ways that you can photograph it and document it so that we can get a better understanding of what it is you took a picture of. What you're going to do is, if you come across a footprint, it'll probably look something like that, but it's going to have 5 toes on it, an outline. Okay, let's pretend you walk up and you find something like that. And you're like, wow, that looks like a giant human footprint. Something that you can do is take your phone, and then you want to take something that is very common that you can use for scale. All right, so you got a dollar bill. What you're going to do is you're going to lay the dollar bill out next to it. Make sure it's stretched out. And then you're just going to do that, and you're going to zoom out till you get the whole thing in the film, and then you're going to take the picture. That's it. That's going to give us a better understanding. because we know how big dollar bills are. So then we can cross-reference that, and then we can get a really good idea. And it doesn't have to be a dollar bill. It can be a pen. It can be your hand, your foot, and just tell us how big the shoe was. Just something next to it. Or you can just break a stick and make it the same length as the footprint and take the stick with you. When you get home, measure it. But there's always a way to get more data. While I'm out here, I want to show you how you can help with this research. When you go on hikes, if you're going hunting, if you come across something weird, document it and send it to me. deepwoodsprotocol@gmail.com. If you got photos, send them to me. And don't forget, if you like what I'm doing here, if you like this video, please subscribe. It helps a tremendous amount. Leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, say something about it. And thank you for the people who have become members of my channel. Thank you to everyone who subscribed, left a comment. And don't be afraid to leave a comment. Like if I do something and you don't know why I did it, or if you just don't agree with something that I said, if you think I'm wrong, tell me. I need to learn. I'll never be perfect. So if you see something, if I make a mistake, let me know. And we'll go from there. I also want to use this as a guide to help you research this very topic. I'm going to show you throughout this video, as I'm investigating this area, little tips and tricks that you can use to help in the search. It's all hands on deck. I highly encourage, and I hope and I want you to go out into the wilderness. Even if you're not looking for Sasquatch, just go out. You'd be surprised at what you can find. But after this video, you will be able to see things that that maybe you wouldn't have noticed before, and how to deal with those things when you come across them. So let's see what this place really has in store tonight. There's so much land out here. I'm having to really pick and choose where I want to go. Now, how am I doing that? Well, I'm looking for, obviously, prints on the ground. I'm listening for any kind of knocks or yells or just some weird noise I can't identify quickly. It's rough. There's ticks, there's snakes, there's bears, some say there's big cats. I actually just heard a pretty big noise behind me, but ooh, it's a terrible feeling looking behind you and thinking you're about to see a big cat or some kind of large predator. Not a good feeling. Now that is one gnarly tree. Gives me the creeps. Wait until we see that at night. Well, this is a good place to go off trail. It's not too thick. I can still kind of see my surroundings for the most part. So let's take off into the woods and see what we can't find. Right up here, there's some things that I was talking about to keep an eye out on. Perfectly strong tree, broken. So the next thing we look for is what could have broken it. So if we look down The length, I don't see anything. The tree is perfectly healthy. It's been here a long time. There's nothing else around that's broken. There's nothing else that could have fell and broke it on the way down like another tree. There's no reason this tree should be broken. Not only that, we're gonna come through here. We got this one broken here, and we got this one broken. Again, now here's something else that's pretty weird. This tree, which is not broken, you follow it all the way up, it's laid over the one that's broken. So how does that happen? Why did it break? Sometimes it doesn't make any sense. Good, healthy trees should not, spiderweb. Good, healthy trees should not just break. It's a weird looking tree down there. Let's go check it out. Look at this tree. That's a 90-degree angle. Boop, and then straight up. It's pretty cool. Here's another one. If anybody has any ideas of what can cause that, for trees to do that, let me know down in the comments, because I don't have a clue. Every once in a while, you want to look down and make sure you don't have any ticks crawling on you. Now that's not going to save you, but it's at least going to give you an idea. If you can find one crawling on you, you know to pay attention later when you're checking yourself. Man, this place is vast. But we got to keep going in. When it comes to these pine trees, you can see the holes in some of them. It's woodpeckers. They beat out a hole and then they dig for insects. But what's interesting is they're hearing so good, they can hear the insects moving around the tree, and that's how they know where to start banging in. I'm gonna rest here for a little while, finish my Cliff Bar, and keep going. There's a clearing up there, right there. I'm hoping it's a road, because traveling through this, it's pretty tiring and it's hot. Here we go. When it comes to big areas like this, where the brush is really growing up high, you want to make a little bit of noise because animals can be sleeping in there and you don't want to spook them. You want to keep a lookout for ticks, make sure you're not getting covered in them. You want to keep your eyes on the ground as much as possible to look for snakes. But we got to go deeper if we want to find what we're looking for. Found this little offshoot here, right off the trail up there. This place is pretty cool. Again, you can see where these nuts they've got sitting up here. Squirrels will grab the nuts, the acorns. They'll do it here too. And then they'll sit on their little log and eat them. Pretty cool. Okay. I wasn't recording. I can't, obviously I can't be recording 24/7. I've only got a certain amount of space, batteries, etc. But right on the other side of this grass, maybe 75 to 100 yards, I heard the loudest, just whoop. When something like this happens, you've got two choices. You can just stop and listen. Don't make any noise, and just listen like I did for a few minutes to see if anything else, if you can hear anything moving, or if it does it again, or any other noise. Option number two, you make some noise yourself. Now, people can argue all day which one's better. Nobody really knows. So I've been quiet for the past several minutes, so the last thing I can try is to just whoop. And you don't have to do a crazy yell. You don't have to scream like a psychopath. Just a little yip. Or you can knock on a tree if you want, but I prefer, before I just make a response to something that I hear, I prefer to just wait a few minutes and see what happens. You know, when I hear people talk about the scarier things of Sasquatch, like they'll see one kind of behind a tree and it'll peek out and look at them. And they'll do it over and over. When it comes to claims like that, I tend to believe those because that's realistic, and it's repeated over and over and over. And guys, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of reports of Sasquatch all over North America, worldwide. But just to keep it imaginable, we're going to talk about North America. Out of all those thousands and thousands, what you need to realize is only one has to be true. Only one of them. Everybody else can be making it up, lying, hallucinating, whatever. But if only one of those reports is accurate, that changes everything. If you think about it in that context, if you're a non-believer, then things can start to become a little more realistic. You just need one. But we've got thousands. And as an eyewitness myself, that's my one. And that's why I'm out here doing this. That's why I'm becoming obsessed with this. We got to find the answers. There's no other way. I'm gonna rest here and wait for nightfall, and then I'll work my way back out slowly and see if I can't have anything happen on the way out. But while I'm resting, one thing I do like to do, I've got a journal that I keep. If I hear or see anything, I write it in the journal. So earlier, when I heard that whoop, I know what time that was, I know what the temperature was, and I know what Okay, it's dark now and it's time to start heading out. I feel like I've come in too deep. I've come too far and now I've got to get out of here. But I have to embrace it. This is what I'm here for. Whoop! This feeling I'm getting is too strong. It feels like something's bearing down on top of me. I've come out here way too far by myself. All I know is I know something's here and I've got to make my way back. This is too intense. They're here. I just heard something over here to my right. And when I looked, I saw a big shadow. I don't know what that is. No, it's not like it. The light didn't play tricks on me at all. I know what I saw. You see that white patch of that tree right there? That's where the top of the head was. That's what I saw. Guys, I gotta get out of here. I gotta keep moving. I'm getting out of here. I can feel it. Here we go. I'm getting out. Walking out, I heard a wood knock, but that's another weird thing about this phenomenon. Is so many times it's only when you're not recording. How do they know? There's a lot more we need to uncover. And that's why I hope I'm encouraging y'all out there to get out there and do some research. When it comes to nighttime investigating, you're just traveling around hoping you can hear something or see something. But that's when it's the creepiest. And one thing you can do is you can do tree knocks. Get you a good piece of wood and you just smack another tree and you hope that they respond. I gotta get out of here. I can just feel it. This is a sixth sense. Human beings have a sixth sense, and this is it. I gotta make my way out of here, guys. I'm getting out of here as quick as I can, or until the feeling stops. Okay, coming back up the main trail. There's my truck. Oh. I don't know what that feeling is. That sixth sense I was talking about. I don't know what makes you feel that way. You don't even necessarily have to hear anything. It's just some kind of a feeling. I don't know. I'm coming back when I recuperate. Here we go.